Hi, this is Pip from Yeshua Wept, and I've got a little thing to share with you guys today. It's about, it's in 2 Chronicles 28. It's about Ahaz becomes king of Judah. And it says, Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. But he did not do that which was right in the sight of Jehovah, like David his father. For he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, and made also molten images of Baal. It says Baalim, but it means the same thing as Baal. Now, Baal is Jesus, okay? Do your homework. Now, it also says that for he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel and made molten images of Baal. Moreover, he burnt incense in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burnt his children in the fire. Now, Father led me to this morning to tell you guys speak about Christmas. There's many YouTubes telling you that you shouldn't be doing Christmas and you shouldn't be doing Easter or jack-o'-lanterns or Halloween, and most of it's common sense. But with Christmas, we've all been brought up doing Christmas, but we didn't realise what the connotations was about this, and how awful it was. Now, there are many YouTubes telling you about Moloch, and how they it said the Canaanites and would do Moloch, but what happened was that Israel mixed with the Canaanites and other people, and they started to take on their gods and do their practices. And this was one of the most grossest practices that they could ever do, was to sacrifice their children to their god, which was a golden calf or a molten image. And what he does, it's like this calf was sitting up, and it had like a hole in its lap, and it was made of iron or some sort of material, and they used to make it really hot, and they'd lay their babies on the lap, and the babies would scream with pain because it was so hot, and Israel would bang the drums so they couldn't hear the cries of their babies as they were sacrificing them. And it was just a common thing to do. You know, it was common because if they wanted a good harvest, they would just kill their children. They actually did believe that if they did that, good things would happen to them, with no love in their heart or no conviction that they were doing wrong. So these are one of the things that still happening today, but not in the same way. But with Santa Claus, which is Satan Claus, you would take your children just before Christmas to sit him on his lap, which is exactly the same what they did with Moloch, and then they would get presents. You know, sorry, I've got an itchy nose. They would get presents, and this Father Christmas would hug them. But when you sit on the lap of this Satan Claus, you would then be dedicating, and it's serious, so serious, you'd be dedicating your children to Moloch, and you don't even know what you're doing. It's a spiritual thing. So then after you've done that, you go home and you go and pick your tree. Okay, you go up to, some people went to a forest and picked their tree, or went to a garden centre and got the biggest tree that had just been chopped down. And now listen to what happens. It says, for he walked in the way of kings of Israel and made also molten images to Baal. Moreover, they burnt incense in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burnt his children in the fire. After the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord Jehovah had cast out before the children of Israel, he sacrificed also and burnt incense in the high places, on the hills, and under every green tree. Now, what the green tree is, it's the Christmas tree. and it's a phallic symbol of Nimrod or Tammuz. and because he, if you look to the history, he had his penis cut off, and that's a representation of him, and the green tree is that representation of his private parts, and the balls are the balls of the private parts. And it says in Jeremiah 10, it says, then they will cut down the trees and they will put silver and gold balls on and worship it. Now you're saying, oh, I don't worship my Christmas tree. But I tell you something, if I said to you that not to have a Christmas tree and not to do Christmas, I don't think you'd be very happy. Oh, what are the children going to do? Everybody else is having Christmas. Everybody else needs, we buy them toys. But that is idol worship. You're still idol worshipping. It's our women's duty to look into the history of Father Christmas, which will horrify you, seriously horrify you. He comes down the chimney and your fireplace. Can't you see it? That's what the children would be brought to the chimney and they would be sacrificed. And I think he came from Norway or Sweden, I'm not sure. But what I've read a long time ago, that apparently he first was in green and he was called some barbaric name, and the children were terrified of him because if they weren't good, he would come and take them away. They were always frightened he was going to come and take them away. And that's exactly what's happening at Christmas. You tell them, if you're a good boy, you're a really good boy, or you're a really good girl, Father Christmas is going to come and bring you some toys. But if you're bad, what will happen to you? You won't get any toys. But it was more than that. It was these children were terrified because of this haunting figure would come at a certain time of year. Vinny was telling me this morning that the Yule log represents the baby, the Yule log. So, girls, do your homework. And I'm saying to you, I haven't been doing Christmas since about 2011 or 12. I've always tried to, I have stayed away from Christmas, and family functions I've not gone to. I meet up with them probably 2 or 3 days later, and not giving gifts, but we just meet up because that's the time of year that everybody's off for a holiday. So you can do a meet the family. You don't have to be celebrating Christmas, because I've not done it for such a long time. And I have seen my family in around that time of year because they have times off. So I'm just giving you a heads up that you shouldn't be doing Christmas, and also telling you that you have to eat clean, because the church now, if you go to a church service, they normally have bacon or ham sandwiches after the service. Well, it's so bad they took pigs and sacrificed them on the altar and defiled the whole temple when they did this. And when we eat this bacon, you wouldn't believe what it's doing to our temple. Our body is a temple, and it is actually full of worms. They've poured cider or vinegar on pork in the past, and you see the worms that have come out. Anyway, we have YouTube. You have knowledge. There are books that you can find, and I just want to know. I don't want to hurt my father. I don't want to hurt his feelings, and I want to do everything possible to do what is right in his sight. Now, if you are saying that you're a believer and you love the Father, do your homework, girls. Go and find out, because we are the ones that buy the presents. We are the ones that put the decorations up and pull the balls on the tree. I think a lot of men don't even care about Christmas, and we get in so much debt. Some people are paying maybe years after they use their credit card, buying gifts for people that they don't even use. They manage to keep in the cupboard and give away next year to someone else. Because I've actually received a presents in the past that I'd given people 2 or 3 years before. They didn't use them, they just gave them back to me, but they didn't remember that I had given them to them. So it says in here, he sacrificed also burnt incense in the high places and on the high hills, under every tree. Wherefore the Lord Jehovah delivered him into the hands of the king of Syria, And they smote him and carried him away, and a great multitude of them captive, and brought them to Damascus. And he was also delivered into the hands of the king of Israel, who smote him with a great slaughter. There's nothing good that comes out of doing Christmas, Easter, Halloween. Really seriously look into Halloween. It is so demonic. It's so bad, girls. You really got to look into the history, and you dress your children up as the dead. Who in their right mind would actually do that? I've never ever wanted to do Halloween. I don't even remember as a child us dressing up as ghosts and dead. I don't think my mum would have been into any of that. It's very American, and we pick up a lot of stuff from America. So please, ladies, do your homework, look into it, and come out of the church. When you're in that church and they're telling you that you're once saved, always saved, that's the biggest lie from the enemy. It says, if you love me, do my commandments. And we must be doing the commandments of Jehovah. And if you're thinking, oh, she's a Jehovah's Witness, look it in the Bible. Go to Exodus, and Exodus 6, and it says, the name wasn't revealed to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. It was revealed to Moses. They called him the Almighty. You know, in Hebrew, I think it was Elohim or El Shaddai. But in Hebrew and Aramaic, his name is Jehovah, and his son's name is Yeshua, meaning salvation. Have a look into it all, girls, and you leave a comment, and we can be Bereans, and we can discuss this together. Sit down, let's be like the Bereans, line upon line, precept upon precept, and find out together as a family. So be it.